Right, guys. So, in our last lesson, we prepared our media inside of Premiere. So now we have all of our stuff inside of there. We have our footage inside of Premiere. We have our audio inside of Premiere. But I wanted to stop and take a break really quick. And I want to, because before we can do anything else, we need to understand what it is we're actually editing and putting together, okay? So in this instance, we're working on a short film. Okay, and short films always have a script. It's one of the things we talked about during the 3 Ps of production lessons, right? So we want to look at the script and we want to see what the story is so that we know how to put it together, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your TSC number 20 or TSC drive number. You're going to go to your assets, Ghost Cake Raw, and then here's the script, okay? Ghost Cake script underscore script. Double click on that. And now we have the script open. So we can see that the script is 3 pages long. Another thing that we can see too is, see this number right here? This number indicates the scene number, okay? The reason I know that too is because of this thing right here. This right here is what we call a slug line. A slug line. This slug line tells us about our location. INT stands for interior. So this is an interior scene. It means it's being shot inside. This is at Aunt Clara's house. This is our location. So we know that it's inside of a house, and this house belongs to someone's aunt. All right. And then here at the end, we have a dash night. So that indicates that this is a nighttime scene. So it's going to be dark. All right, so now we know that. And then here we have what's called an action line. And this action line kind of tells us what is going on physically in the scene. All right, so this is scene 1. Scene 1 takes place inside of Aunt Clara's house at nighttime. And now we start reading, okay? So music plays in the background, okay? So we know that we're going to need music, all right? We see close-ups of spooky decorations in the house. So you want to take notes. Okay, so first thing we have here, I'm gonna just mark this stuff right here. Yeah. So we have music that's playing in the background, okay? We're gonna need some close-ups of spooky decorations in the house. We're going to make this blue. Okay. And then we have a cake that's decorated with ghosts in this thing. So here we have actually, I'm just going to do these in yellow. So now we have 3 things that we're going to see in this shot. Music playing in the back, or we hear music playing in the background, but we see. So let's do that. Make that different, a color. We'll do that one in blue. So we hear music playing in the background, and we see spooky decorations around the house and a cake decorated with a ghost sitting on a table. All right. Then we have what's called an insert. So an insert is like it cuts away to this thing. So we have an insert of a note on the fridge. That's another physical element. We're going to put that in yellow. Okay. And then this is what the note says. So we're gonna see that, obviously. So that's going to be yellow. And then we see a hand snag the note off of the fridge. So this is all in that one scene. All right. Now, here's a funny thing: is we actually have another slug line, but it's like a shortened slug line. And what that is basically it's telling you that you're in a new location. So we have a new location here, dining room, but we're still inside and it's still nighttime. So this is just kind of like a cutaway slug line here. So this is another scene though. This is almost another scene, but they're counting it as the same scene, I guess, because we're inside still and we're inside of Aunt Clara's house. And we can also say that maybe this is the kitchen because you got the kitchen counter. You have a fridge with a note on it. And then in the dining room, it might just be the next room over. And so that might be easy to shoot. So making a whole new scene out of it seems different. But we're going to treat this as this is a completely different scene. So now that we've broken down our first scene, because again, we're going to break these scenes up. So this, I'm going to count this as scene 1 and this as scene 2, because to me, these are different locations. And so that's the way I'm going to treat them. So this is going to be scene 1. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open up Premiere and we're going to edit this sequence together. So the way that we're going to edit it is you're going to hear some music playing. You're going to see close-ups of decorations around the house. You're going to see a cake being decorated with a ghost sitting on the kitchen counter. We're going to insert that shot with a note on the fridge, and then a hand snagging that note. And that's going to be one scene, okay? So let's go ahead and jump into Premiere.